Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. We're going to talk about a bank run in the United Kingdom. And it's not the kind you think of where everyone's racing the doors and you see people running trying to get their money out. It's something that's happening behind the scenes quietly. And it's happening quietly because there's still so many people that have no idea that's what's going on in the world's banking systems right now. They believe everything they're told, on TV, and that everything's okay, everything's good, just put more money into your 401k. Now, I'm going to read a couple of comments because I love reading your comments. I get so much information out of them, what's going on in real time around the world. And you can tell when someone's, telling the truth, being sincere or just making something up and being sarcastic. And so we got a couple of comments that I want to read to you from the United Kingdom and what they're having as far as problems in their banking system. Now, this comes on the heels. These comments are coming from a video that I did about someone I know that just got limited at a bank that I actually bank at, but I can't bring it up because they know what I do. And I need that specific bank because it's tied to an account in Canada where I'm constantly moving money back and forth from the US to Canada. And so I have many different banks, and there's a very serious reason for that because of these bail-in laws. You never know which bank will go under and close their doors during a serious situation. However, technically, they don't need to close their doors anymore because a bank bail-in allows them to reach into depositors' funds because depositors are now considered unsecured creditors of that bank. They could take money from you and just replace it with worthless bank stock. That was thanks to the Dodd-Frank Act. You can thank a couple of our amazing politicians. When I say amazing, I mean that sarcastically. I do not mean that in a nice way. But that is where we're at, right? And that's why we need to constantly protect our funds, protect our finances, be diversified, things like that. And, this friend of mine was limited to $5,000 withdrawals every couple of weeks. And this is new. I've never seen this before. And I used to deal in a lot of cash with my trailer side hustle. Well, I was constantly buying and selling trailers for cash. So I was constantly pulling out, between $10,000 and $15,000 monthly, and then replacing it with like $20,000, $25,000 a month. It is absolutely ludicrous now that they're doing this. Now, we used to see all the time where they'd make it hard for you, like JP Morgan, my account there. They would charge me for cash deposits. Obviously, that's why I didn't do the trailer business out of that bank. But now you're seeing, and then they would make it hard, like, oh, sorry, we don't have that much cash. We just don't keep that much cash. They're trying very hard to get you weaned off of cash, because there is a master plan to get you on a central bank digital currency. And the crazy thing, the thing that blows me away, and if you've never heard this before, hit the subscribe button, because there's things that I'll show you that will blow your mind, but you have to do it carefully because they don't want it to be well known, but that CBDC comes out is issued by July of 2023. Now think about that. For people to be able to choke that one down, there's going to need to be an exponential crisis, right? For lack of better terms, there's going to have to be something that happens. Well, there is something coming, and it was well documented back in 2015, 2014 through Federal Reserve documents when they started to prepare for the central bank digital currency. They said they'd have to wait for a disturbance, a crash, an emergency of sorts to be able to issue this, because the public wouldn't take this lying down. Well, in the UK, this is what's going on. There's a couple of comments I want to read, and then we're going to talk about it. One of them, this is from Dale. UK tried to make a purchase over $5,000. Mind you, this happened just last week. The card was blocked. Half an hour on the phone to bank being questioned. Tried a second time, card blocked again. Another half hour on the phone to bank being questioned. Tried a third time, card blocked yet again. Another half an hour on the phone to bank being questioned. Threatened to remove all my money from the bank if they continue to block my card. Fourth time, purchase went through. This happened last week. Now, the truth is we've all gone through very frustrating issues. If you're watching this video right now, you've more than likely, and please put your story down in the comment section so that it can be heard and other people can be made aware and learn from it. Okay, that's the most important thing. We don't hold on to information and truth in this world, because if we do, and we're miserly with the truth, well, then we're going to get that kind of reward, which is nothing, right? We want to share facts and knowledge and understanding with people. We have lost the ability to share and teach our younger generations. That's why I'm so desperately wanting everyone to share these hashtags, Silver Christmas, Silver my stocking. We need to teach the younger generations the importance of gold and silver. There's a reason why it's stated in the Constitution of the United States that money shall be in no other form than gold and silver coins. And I believe as I speak this out to you guys, the truth will resonate in you and you will go out and share those hashtags, share the story, share the truth and knowledge about real money. Let's dive back into this. The truth is people are complaining and they're all doing this. They're all going, I'll pull my money. I'll pull my money. The banks don't care. The person you're on the phone with does not care. More than likely, they're making a paltry wage for what they do. They're being undervalued and they just don't care. And the facts are if they were being paid a higher wage, they know that every other bank has similar policies. So where are you going to go? And that's why it's so vitally important right now. The best thing that we could do to get back is get out of debt. The only thing debt should be used for is to build wealth. Build wealth. Not buy a fancy car or truck that you can't afford. Not just to impress some idiot you don't even respect. Think about that. Think about how many people in our lives, and I've been guilty of it too, that I've wanted to impress. I was doing that when I wanted to buy my first Ferrari when I was 25. I wanted to do it to show off. It wasn't for me. Sure, I loved that car and I just thought it was the most beautiful work of art, ever. But I wanted to do it to impress people. That wasn't the right way. That's not it. Debt should be used to pay off, to build wealth in the proper way where you're using debt to buy assets because they're assets because other people are paying for them for you, like real estate, right? But the problem is these banks know that we're all tied to debt. We're all bound, right? Like slaves. Literally, we're slaves to the lender. We don't want to be that way. Here's another comment that I wanted to read. Same issues in London, UK. Anything over, and sorry, this is from Darren. Anything from GBP5, I'm totally blanking out on the pounds. And it's third degree, so tenuous. Also, I get charged for withdrawing cash and paying it in. That's absolutely insanity. So both ways they're getting you. They're charging you for withdrawing your cash and they're charging you for putting it back in. Now, he says here, this is a business account. Not sure if personal accounts are the same. Think about that. Now here, Darren from the UK is saying his business account, a business that survives, that thrives, that exists purely off the fact that people need to come and pay him. And a lot of those customers want to pay him in cash for his goods or services. So now his bank is saying, you're going to get charged to put it in the account and take it out. What they're doing is akin to what? That guy that destroyed Germany in the 40s, you know who I'm talking about? Can't even say these certain things. You have no idea what happens to the videos. It's sad. That guy made it very difficult to own the pew-pews, if you know what I mean. And he did it in many different ways. One through registering, then another through fees. And then after a while, it got so difficult, everybody just gave it up. So then he could take over the country and hurt people. That's what's happening with money right now. And people need to understand and wake up to what's going on. And that sounds funny. It sounds crazy that most people can't understand this. You're going to one day. You will. I don't know when, but you will. There'll be a day when you find out how precious gold and silver is. Because the facts are, the World Mining Council has proven how much metal is above ground. And since around 2015, 2016, we became net users. We actually mine out of the ground less metal per year than we actually use now. That's why we know we're going into a commodity super cycle. And with this hashtag silver Christmas, hashtag silver in my stocking, since only less than 1% of human beings on earth own 1 ounce of metal, precious metal, can you imagine if just a few people went and bought 1 tube of 20 for their kids to put in their stockings for the next 20 years? That silver would be taken off the market. See, because that is what happens every time an empire collapses. Its currency collapses and goes nothing, like the Greeks, the Romans, And I always go back to those two because it was a lot harder to conquer the world by just getting out on horse and buggy and going and taking it over than now, right? Where we can just sail ships and do all kinds of crazy things. We could reach another country with a missile. But as their currency collapses, the gold and silver explodes in value. And then very few people throughout history, very, very, very few people had the gold and silver, then went around and bought up all the land, all the water, all the resources, all the food from the poor people because all they had was currency notes, crap paper. I mean, this is just, it's crap. Crap. What's real money? That right there. Now, I'm not saying that you will never ever, we're past the point where you'll ever have enough of this so that everybody can just barter with it or use it as a form of payment. It's now too precious. So the facts are you going to be last the race, or are you going to be ready? I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow. This isn't financial advice. But honestly, this right now costs about, to get in your hands, because I think it's what, 18 or 19 bucks for the spot, and then you have to pay another $3 or $4, maybe $5 to get the actual coin. If you can't afford $24, $25, you got serious issues. I guarantee I go into your closet and I'll find out you could sell something and buy this. It's all perception. And right now, the perception is there's a bank run going on in the UK, and by a very few amount of smart people that are trying to pull money out of their bank accounts, and they're trying to stop them too. So guys, I hope you got something out of this. Do me a favor. If you own precious metals like silver, hashtag silver in my stocking, hashtag silver Christmas, and a photo of a coin, and just put it out on the internet. And let's get this thing woke up. Let's get good things trending rather than crap stuff. All right, guys. That being said, the Economic Ninja is out.